I declare war. It's been a while since I've done a video on this channel, but when I saw this particular article, I had to declare war. And what I'm going to do is play this audio. Yesterday, there was a hearing on reparation. I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. There was a hearing on the question of reparations. And you had this old bootlicking, butt-kissing, tap-dancing Negro, Herschel Walker, make some statements about reparations. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the audio and I will interrupt from time to time responding to what this guy had to say. So hopefully you all can hear. I'm going to actually share my screen. Hopefully I can pull this up. So just bear with me a second. Yeah, so that's not working. So what I'm going to do is just play the audio. Hopefully you all can hear it fine. So this is audio from Herschel Walker on reparations. This is from Breitbart News, and I'm, I'm exercising my rights under the Fair Use Act. I'm providing commentary in response to this particular audio that I'm going to play. Shout out to Bonafide 1970. Thanks for tuning in. So let me play this audio.
Chairman and ranking members, I thank you for this opportunity to speak on reparation, which has been spoken about many times over my lifetime, but over the past year has become a hot topic. I asked the question why. There's been many surveys show that a large percentage of black and white teens would say racism is better today than yesterday. We use black power to create white guilt. My approach is biblical. How can I ask my Heavenly Father to forgive me if I can't forgive my brother? I never want to.
So, I mean, the first thing that he said is that black power is about white guilt. It's not about any kind of white guilt or anything like that. Black power is about black people having power. It's about us empowering ourselves and liberating our communities. That's what black power is about. It's not about white guilt or anything like that. The other thing is there's nothing, forgiveness is one thing, justice is another thing. In order to forgive, in the situation involving black people, it's not even about forgiveness. It's about justice. It's about restitution. We don't even need to get into some long drawn out conversation about forgiveness and all that kind of stuff. This is about restitution. It's about a people being robbed of their liberty for hundreds of years. It's about what's happening today, about the massive disparities in wealth that are a direct result of slavery. You have people that are living today off of the wealth that their ancestors stole from black people by enslaving black people, by depriving black people of compensation for their labor. All that has helped create the massive wealth inequality that we have in this country between black people and white people. For all those years, white people that enslaved black people were able to amass all this wealth. You have all these industries in this country that profited off of our enslavement. Whether we're talking about banking institutions, whether we're talking about even insurance institutions and colleges and universities, even the federal government itself profited off of the enslavement of black people. This is not a question of forgiving somebody. This is about demanding restitution. It's about demanding justice that is relevant today, because many of the disparities that we face today are a direct result of the enslavement of our ancestors. While we were enslaved, these other people were able to advance economically. Why we were subjected to Jim Crow segregation and things of that nature, these other groups of people were able to build wealth. While we were redlined and, barred from owning property because of racially restricted covenants and things of that nature, these other groups of people were able to build wealth and build their communities. These white people were able to do that. So this is about restitution, and it's about justice. It is not about some vague notion of forgiveness. We can have the conversation about forgiveness after we get some justice, after we get some kind of restitution, after we even get an apology. An apology is a first step as well. So let's continue on with what this guy has to say.
You don't want religion down, but my religion teaches togetherness. Reparation teaches separation.
So he said that reparations teaches separation. There's nothing in, reparation has absolutely nothing to do with separation. Reparation is about repairing the damage that was done to our people as a result of hundreds of years of enslavement and decades of Jim Crow segregation. That's what it's about. It's not about separation. It's about giving the African who was enslaved in America justice. That's what it's about. It's about rectifying a situation that has been a blot on American history from the very inception of this country. That's what this whole thing is about. It's not about some separation. And I know that there are groups that advocate separation, and they see some groups see reparations as part of separation, like they want separate land and all that kind of stuff. That's some people. But reparation as a concept is not about separation.
In it over 130 years ago. How can a father be asked his son to spend prison time for a crime he committed?
So this other thing is, his other point was this, like, how can a son have to serve time for some crime that his father committed? I mean, and that's an overly simplistic way of looking at things. If the son reaped all this benefit from his father, like his father stole all this money from somebody else, enslaved, beat, brutalized somebody else and separated them from their families and inflicted all kinds of horrors upon them. And then that son reaps all the financial benefits. And the slave's son continues to suffer as a result of that. Then that son has to make account. He has to be the one to bring about the justice. He is responsible. If he is reaping the benefits of slavery, if he is reaping the benefits of segregation and stuff like that, he's going to have to render some of that wealth to the people that suffer as a result of those things. He's going to have to do it. A debt is owed, and they have the money that they have collected from the enslavement of our people, from, all these years of oppression of Black people, and we are the ones here to collect it. So you can't play innocent when you are holding on to stolen property, when you are holding on to wealth that was plundered, wealth that was acquired through the oppression and enslavement of people. You can't cling on to that wealth and claim it as your own when it's stolen. That wealth belongs to us, and we're here to collect it. And the fact that you got this old bootlicking, ass-kissing Negro making all kinds of excuses for denying Black people reparations is just an abomination. It's just a damn shame that they always manage to find these sellouts, these buck dancing, bootlicking, ass-kissing, shucking and jiving coons. They always manage to find these kind of people to speak out against reparations. These same people don't have nothing to say about Jews being compensated for the Holocaust. They have nothing to say about the people who were held in internment camps being compensated for that injustice that occurred to them. They have nothing to say about Native Americans getting land and all that kind of stuff returned to them. It's only when Black people are demanding justice. It's like every single thing that has happened in this country is acknowledged. Like all the atrocities that have occurred, you know, whether we're talking about 9/11, whether we're talking about the Jewish Holocaust, whether we're talking about Pearl Harbor, they always say, never forget, you know, we need to remember this and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to the Black man and woman, when it comes to the issues of slavery and segregation, it's always, let's forget about that, get over it, and all that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, these other groups of people receive their reparations. And it's time that we have our reparations as well. And I think that we need to leverage the fact that the Black vote made it possible for Biden to be in office. We need to leverage that to demand reparations for our people. And it's just a shame that they always bring out a parade of these House Negroes to talk down on reparations every time there's a hearing. Who decides to have people like this speaking? This is a football player, you know, a former football player. What the hell does he have to do with reparations? Why are they bringing him to the discussion? What's his qualifications to speak on this stuff? And I'm sure that those Republicans probably made him a part of this hearing or whatever. People like that shouldn't even be at the table to talk about reparations. So anyway, man, I had to just share my frustration. I'm not going to play the rest of the audio. Instead, I'll put a link in the description box so that you all could check it out for yourself. But tell me, what you think about this? Do you think this guy Herschel Walker is right about reparations? Why not? So with that, peace and blessings. Please rate, comment, subscribe. Like the video, share the video, hit that notification bell so that you'll know right away when I post new content on here. Peace and blessings. Have a good day.